Hi everyone, welcome to MyWebUniversity, my YouTube channel. I'm going to provide you shell scripting videos on this session in continuation of the last session that we did Linux shell scripting on Red Hat. And we have also had video number 10, which was Linux Ubuntu. So let's get it started with this PDF file. Actually PowerPoint presentation that I'm going to just show you. So we already covered video number 10, which we wanted to cover shell scripting on Linux Ubuntu. And then we never get to the Red Hat version. So that's why I made this video number 11. And then on video number 11, we discussed Red Hat version. And then on the Rocky version, we're going to discuss today. So this is again, I'm going to go through a slideshow so you know exactly what I'm going to show you. On the Linux, this one is other ones. Let me just go to video number 10. So on video number 10, and the other ones that we have already covered, I'm not going to just repeat the same thing. You should watch those videos. And then the one that I'm going to cover tonight is this video number 12, which is a Linux how-to on shell scripting covering Rocky. The reason I brought those other ones is because when I got to video number 11, I was supposed to cover Red Hat on shell scripting and Rocky, but because the video was getting longer, I just want to dedicate one session for it, so you know exactly the portability of these scripts from platform to platform, whether it was Ubuntu or Red Hat or this time Rocky. So without further ado, we're going to do Rocky tonight. And we're going to see if Rocky rocks. Let's get started. So first thing we need to do is go to the Oracle virtual machine. The virtual machine, we're running Rocky 9.2 as a GAS operating system on a Windows platform. So if you look at this Windows platform from command line, system info, and then find string/I. I may have shown this one already to you, but I want to just show you that the host operating system in this case is Microsoft Windows 11 Professional Edition, and then the GAS operating system is Rocky 9.2. So GAS operating system is getting the resources from the host operating system Windows, and then Oracle Virtual Machine or VirtualBox makes this software available for you that you can actually do this kind of work. So if you look at the setting here on this one, under the system, we have dedicated about 8 gig of memory, and then also with a 4 processor out of the 8 processor that we have. On this system, if I go to Device Manager, you can see that under the processor, we have 8 cores, and they're all Geek OM 11th generation Intel Core i7 and at 3.4 gigahertz. So it's a little bit hard to read, but you can also get that information from command line. And instead of this, you could type in model, and you could get that information from the model here. It says Intel 64 family 6 and then 3.4 gigahertz speed. You can also type in about and then get that from the about information, and it tells you right here 11th generation Intel Core i7 11390H and 3.4 gigahertz. And the name of the host is algorithm. You can also type in host name here, and you will get algorithm. So that's the information we could check. In addition, as you can see here, it shows 32 gigabyte of physical memory, RAM, and I could do the same thing here, clearing the screen and then making the screen a little bit bigger, and then just running this command here. And instead of model, I could just say memory for mem, searching for mem, and it will tell you that we have 32 gigabyte as it showed on the GUI interface, and then 25 gig is currently available. So when I started Rocky, and then another 4 gig is all together might be taken, or just a little bit less than that, and then all of a sudden we have a little bit. I mean, we have still a lot of memory available, and out of the 25 gig, it's going to just shrink a little bit, but not too much. So let's get it started. And then right here also the task manager, you can go under this tab and then click on the memory, and you can see it's 24 gig is currently 24.4 gig approximately is free there. So let's get it started with the virtual machine, Rocky. We're gonna start it by just closing this one and then click on the start button here. So as you can see, it's powering up the virtual machine and auto capture. This is the notification. If you don't like to see that notification, you can close it. It doesn't matter, but it is very fast because we have allocated 8 gigabyte of physical memory, and then that is going to be fast for this virtual machine. So I log in with authentication, login password combination, and then now the interface of Rocky 9.2 shows up. Then I can type in here extern, and I can open an extern command, and the extern command here it is showing. So cat edc OS/release. You can see that it's 9.2 Linux Rocky. And then I could also clear the screen here and then just say, I can open another terminal with different background by typing extern -bg for background, and then put #0025 dark green, and then for foreground, I'm gonna put white. For face, I'm gonna put New York for font face, and minus font sizes, I'm gonna put 10. And then I'm gonna put ampersand so I can do it background. And notice that this extern command, I'd open this. So if I just close this one and just do the up arrow, and then I wanted a dark blue, and then I could just get that one, the same thing with dark blue, and then type in the commands here, and then everything looks good. So cat edc OS/release, you could see that cat edc OS/release, you could see that one. And if you want it by line number, just put a -n here, it will put the line numbers. And then as you can see on line number 7, it is telling me that I have Rocky Linux 9.2. Okay, so these depend on what you want to open. You can also click here, and instead of like an extern, you can open a terminal, and then on the terminal, when you open, you can click here or just type in terminal. That would be your terminal, default terminal. I made it this color on the background, so it's, even though it is not echo $term, term is not extern, it is extern -256 color by default. So that is what this one is. Most likely this one echo $term is similar. Yeah, similar. So I don't need to open too many of them. I could just work with this white for a background, and then with black text. And then this one, I could just close it also and just leave this one here. And then if I want it a little bit bigger, I can resize it here. So right here, if I say clear the screen and say host name, you can see that there's localhost of local domain. And then if I just say host name cut -d delimiter dot, and then I just say -field one basically is going to give you localhost, and -field 2 is the local domain. the domain name. So you could get that information as well. And then hostname CTL also give you the details of the hostname, and you can see it's a virtual machine type of hostname, and it is built under the VirtualBox software. So clearing the screen here, if I say cat/proc/mem-info 5 more, you can see that 4 gig or 8 gig that I allocated is the total memory that is available here. You can also do a free -h, and you will get that information about 7.5 or 4 gig. And 1.4 gig is currently used. You can also run the top command to get that information from the top here, the memory, the swap space, the CPU usage, and the load average, all of that information, and then the processes that are there. You can get all of that one here. Clearing the screen, you can also say halftime, and then run level, currently the run level. All of these commands on Red Hat work the same way. So now I'm going to do shell scripting, and I want to show you when you do shell scripting, how you can just do some kind of checking to see the code run that run on Linux Ubuntu. Will it run on Red Hat? I already showed you on video number 11. Now I'm going to show you the same code that run on Linux Ubuntu and Red Hat by modifying it on Red Hat platform. Since Red Hat and Rocky CentOS and all of that one are similar, and in terms of Fedora distribution, but Rocky is kind of like a copy of Red Hat, but it is just the community edition replacement for CentOS version. So Rocky is open source, and you can just get it from Rocky.org website that I showed you last video. So you just get it, and then here I'm doing PWD. So I'm going to see if I have a directory programs, and then I've already downloaded previously maybe in shelf. So but I have only a couple of demos .sh. Maybe whatever reason I had another video that I have, but on this video I'm going to show you that since I'm on this host name, I'm not on the MyWebUniversity where I have my sources for the shell script. So I'm going to open another shell here. This shell is the local host, and this shell I'm going to SSH with my user ID to www.mywebuniversity.com. Once I log in there, so I have a login there now, and then I just do run my shell to set up my environment --rc. Now my prompt is changed. Host name, you can see that I'm on mywebuniversity.com, and my ID is different. ID-UN is Lutfi rather than Wahid. And here, if I just say clear the screen host name, and then I could just say ID-UN, you can see that it's Wahid. And then here, if I say who am I, and then who space am I, this information is not giving me anything because I didn't SSH from outside. I'm local to that machine. But if I come here and say, who am I? It says you're Lutfi. But if I say, who am I with a space, then it says you're coming from this IP address remotely. And then if I just say ps-ef grep-i SSH, and then one of the connection is that Lutfi that is SSH to it, and it is there. So if I just sudo su dash and I become root there, and now I say ID-UN, who am I? And now it shows still that I originally came from this one because I SSH, well, I mean, storage user, I become a root. Now I can say lsof minus I, and then the port 22 for SSH. Then I can see that, okay, Wahid Lutfi established this connection through SSH. So this is the information that I'm coming here. Now I have to show you a couple of things here. So I exit out of this, I go back to my main directory here, and I go to programs, and then here I have a lot of files, right? So all I have to do is show you the shell scripts. So shells, and then cd under the shells, I have a lot of shells. Then I have this other directory called loop, which is learn Unix by example. So the loop directory is this. Inside the loop directory, I have a directory called demos. So cd into demos and pwd. Host name, I'm on www.mywebuniversity.com, cat -n etc os-release. This one is Linux Ubuntu, as you can see, 20.04.5 long-term support. So this machine is not that. It is a Rocky version, red hat -release, and it is saying that Rocky Linux list. So you could cat that one, Rocky -release, or you could just say a star release, because they all start with the same, and you can look at all of them at the same time. So we know that that is a red hat release. So we could just say, give me the Rocky Linux, and now I'm going to copy everything from this directory on the demos directory back to, let's see how many files are there. So if I say ls -l word count -l, it is going to say 30, but there's a total here. So grep -v, grep out the total, that's what -v means. So it should say 29 files. There's 29 of these files. I'm gonna get all of them downloaded at this one. In order to download them securely, I say is copy, since this is the host name, and this is the ID-UN that I'm going to use at this path. I need to just say, go to this host machine, use this account, and then go to this directory and download all of this files. So the method that I use is a secure copy. Scopy is the command that is available on Linux and Unix and Mac as well. Mac is Unix. So I'm going to do scopy, secure copy -r. -r means recursive. So I'm going to say wlutfi at www.mywebuniversity.com /home/wlutfi/programs. I have to remember all the add correctly with uppercase, lowercase, because case is important. Shells, and then loop, and then demos. So demos as the directory, I want to copy it here currently, and then I have to provide the right password. Now it's copying all the directories and shell scripts and text files, everything here, and the 29 files that is being copied here from the server side to remote local here. So inside here now I have a directory called demos. I did not create the subdirectories because I provided the last path. I don't need to. So this directory, otherwise it would be too long. And then now I'm here. If I do a pwd, I'm on this directory. Just for the demo purpose, I could make this path be shorter so you could see it, and then I could just temporarily move the demo directory to home Wahid. Just for the sake of practice. I'm going to do that one. So this path is not too long. And then I'm going to say move demos to dot dot. So saying that go out one directory, this dot dot, and one other directory, then put it under the demos, under that directory with the same name. Now the demos is not here anymore. And then I have to go to directory up. And now I'm on the home Wahid. If I just look at it, there's a directory demos, clearing the screen. ls minus ltr, it tells you that listed and with timestamp and reverse order. So the last file that was modified was August 4 today, and then you can see it's 23. So the date, time, and stamp is specific date time, and you can see it is 11:43, and that is 11:43. This directory demo. Now it's cd to demos, and then I'm on there clearing the screen, or just doing ls. You will see a clear screen, pwd ls. Now I'm on Rocky machine, and I have all the files and directories there, and I'm ready to demo some of the shell script. So let's start with the shell that we have here. Echo $, shell, you can see I'm on a Ben bash. And how do I know that one? If I type PS, it also tells me that my current shell is bash. And if I say echo $, that also tells me the process ID of the bash script, which is this one. So if I just open another bash, I just open another terminal bash, and echo $, is pointing to the new one, and you can see that it's there. If I have a corn shell, I could just say corn shell, and just my shell changed, and so did my prompt change, and my syntax has to be the corn shell. So now PS, you can see that it's corn shell, echo $, it is pointing to that one. If I exit out of the corn shell, I'm back onto bash. Exit out of the bash, I'm onto bash. Clearing the screen. If I say which ZSH or ZSH, if ZSH is not available, I can do an install on it and do sudo dnf install ZSH. So notice how fast it allows you to do this work. So let's assume that I want to use ZSH here. I could do that one. If I want to use bash, I could do that one. But I'm going to show you some shell scripting, whether you want to do bash or ZSH. The syntax is similar or the same mostly, because ZSH is a superset of bash and corn shell and Bourne shell and true C shells. So once you are using ZSH, you also have everything except plus some graphics or manipulation of things. So now I installed the ZSH, which ZSH it tells me user ben ZSH file user ben ZSH. You can see that it is their executable link format 64-bit. So clearing the screen here. I have the current shell as bash. If I say ZSH, it's going to say, do you want to actually start ZSH? Since I don't have this file attached, tell that .zsh, it prompts me that, okay, you need to attach that file in order to just not get prompted next time. So if I just exit out of this one, and then I go again ZSH, it's going to prompt me again. But if I say attach, since I'm on the current directory, I'm on the demo, so I could say touch actually tell that is my home directory, and then .zshrc, and then now I touched it. So I'm on this directory. If I type in ZSH, it did not prompt me. It changed my shell to ZSH. The other ones also changed it. But since I did not have the shell, every time I typed in the ZSH, it prompted me. Now you see that it is not prompting me again. Clearing the screen. So PS, if I go to bash again, Now my last time is on bash here. If I do PS, you can see if I go another ZSH, I could just see now I'm on ZSH. Echo $sign. $sign is pointing to that last ZSH. So exiting out, PS. Now exit out of that ZSH. And then let's just check one syntax with bash and one syntax with ZSH. So if I say for I in sequence of 10, just to get a sequence number, say do echo num is equal $sign I, and then done. You can see that it is there. So now just using the up arrow, changing this one to 20, it will just do 20 numbers. The sequence is going to repeat it, but notice here, if I just clear screen, and instead of doing this, I will do it with 1 to 5. I mean 5 numbers. So 5 is inclusive. Whatever you put on the sequence, it's not like Python kind of syntax that the range works there. So in a way, if I say Python 3 -- version, it is Python 3.9. So let's say I go to Python 3 interpreter, I say for item in range of let's say 5, then the 5 is not inclusive. It's going to go 0 through 4. So say print item, and then that would just print 0 through 4. So whatever I do the sequence, if I do 10, 10 is not inclusive again. And then you could just get up to 9 number. But on the other hand, if I exit out of Python and I just up arrow here with this sequence, and I do this number with 10, 10 is inclusive. At the same time, the range function, the start and the stop is working like this also. So I'll show you well, the same thing with the for statement. So like right here, if you just say for sequence, let's just start with 5, and then we are going to go to 30, and then increment it by 5 also. And then you can see that the range function in this case is the opposite. This is saying that it says start from 5, increment by 5, and then up to number 30. So this is a start. This is how many steps you want to do, and this is the end. So this 5, I could do it with 2, and you could see that it's 5, 7, and 9, and so on until 29. But then on the 30, it is not going to be covered because I have to say the next number is 31 in order to get 31. And then when I do it on Python, the same numbers, notice I say Python 3 here, and I say for item and range, and then I could say a start of 5, and then end of 31, and then a step of 2. So this one, and then I say print item. Then notice this one is going to do up to 29 because 31 is not inclusive. The last number is not inclusive. In order for that one to be done with the next number, I have to do one more digit in order to cover the 31. And that would cover up to 31. So this is the difference between Python and then also the sequence. Here you notice that I'm on bash. So if I say ZSH is working the same way. So if I say for num, I could just put anything. And sequence, I could just use it that syntax, or I could use this syntax and say and do this, and then say do echo $num, done. And now you can see that it's doing the same thing. So whether you use that syntax of $ or you use backtick, the same number would work the same way. So that's a different format of how you write it. But here, what you do with sequence, if you say sequence of -5, let's say -50, and then we're gonna do a step of 10, and then go all the way to 0, and then you can see that it is changing from 50 down to 0, and then by a digit of 10 numbers. And if you wanted the opposite, you want this one 0 to 50, then it's positive numbers. You can just go start from 0 up to 50. So the sequence is also, you can do it in a command line like 0 to 10. 50 would give you that, and then sequence minus 50, and then 10, and then 0 would give you the same order, depending on how you want to do it. Whether you want to use a for statement or another. Within this do and done, you can write a lot of computation, a lot of calculation, a lot of other statement. I'm just showing you like a small template so you understand the syntax. But let's get to our script now. So clearing the screen here, I'm going to exit out of this, and I'm going to be on bash. And then let's look at the start of bash here, what we have here. So we already did some of the for sequence, but let's look at it inside the shell script to see the compatibility wise, does it work or not. So I'm going to say cut -n. Let's look at this one for sequence and arcs. So I'm going to say for sequence dash arc dot bash. If you look at this syntax, it just says get a maximum number, whatever the user provides, then you just run this one. So on our shell script, it has to be executable. As you can see here for sequence, the first one, it has read, write, execute. That means the owner can execute it. Other people could also execute it, and groups also could execute it. So group and others could execute it. That's good. So now I'm going to run it. If I just don't provide this $ as argument, the script does not know how to check for the next number. So I'm going to say go to 5. And if I change this one to 10, that would work with 10. If you do it with 100, it would work. Whatever number you type in, it's going to do that. But if you don't provide any number, then the script is going to say, oh, you need a missing operand. Because this script is a little bit down, it does not check for kind of arguments, whether you want to do argument or not. So then what we could do is vim on the script and say, for sequence dash arc dot bash, let's just put some logic to it. Say that if $ pound is less than 1, then echo usage $0, $0, and then none. And then we say echo example, and then we give an example $0, and then we say 5. That would be just and otherwise you exit out if the argument was not done, and then a 5 here, and you're done with the testing. So all we are doing is saying that if this $1 was not at least giving one value for it, then give him a usage here. Otherwise, you run the script and run the for statement. So let's run the same script that we did last time, and it's going to give us a usage here. And then obviously you can clear the screen and everything else. You want to do that one, that's fine. But if you just say go with 7 numbers, go with 3 numbers, go with 10 numbers, whatever number you just provided will just work for it. And if you just don't not give an argument, it's gonna work that way too. So we tested the for statement, the if statement, and all that options here. Clearing the screen here, ls.bash. The next thing that we want to do is let's do a for sequence.bash. Cat -n for sequence.bash. And this one is basically looking for between a sequence of 1 to 3. And then this one is hard coded for the display, so it's not going to prompt for the users to provide a number every time you run it. It's just going to run the sequence 1 to 3. And if you change that one to a $sign number, then you have to check for the validity of giving the input, and then you are good to go. So let's look at another script, store.bash. What about the sleep5.bash? So I'm going to vim it, sleep5.bash, see what it is. This one is basically looking at the sleeping every based on the number, whether the number is 1, sleep 1 second, sleep 2 seconds, and so on. So we could just run this script to see how does it work. So we're going to say sleep5.bash, and it's going to sleep 1 second, then done with sleeping 1, then sleep 2 seconds. And since we are not printing the time, it doesn't know if it's actually printing that many seconds, but because it's going through the for statement, and then the for statement is checking for num and sequence of 1 to 5, it is doing it correctly. So I'm gonna just say sleeping 1 second. Before you do that one, you type in the date command. So we say date, and then right here, after we sleep, we do another date. And then right here, we do a date, and then after we sleep, we do another date. So this date is gonna come after sleeping, and then done with the last sleep also, we're gonna do another date. So now we run that command, cat, if we just cat the file, cat -n dot, and notice those sleep commands are there. So I'm going to run it this time, and it should say sleeping 1 second, then it shows you the timestamp. And as you can see, when it is 2 seconds, the timestamp is showing 2 second difference, and it's 4 second, it's 4 second difference, and so on. So like right here is 5 seconds, 7 to 12 is 5 seconds, 3 is to 7 is 4 seconds, and then 0 to 3 is 3 seconds, and so on. So you can see the timestamp is working correctly. Let's -l start.bash. At this time, we did a number of steps. Let's just do one while demo or until demo or something. So let's do a while demo. I want to see the last one, what it is. While underscore demo 5.bash. Because yeah, this is a little bit longer, because on the each of those demos, I am correcting one thing and then giving more example. But this one is covering a lot of it. So I'm going to run the while demo 5 there. It is basically giving usage if it is not provided the output, but it is running while demo 1.bash as the argument, and then a for sequence.bash as another argument. And then if test does exist, the file exists, it checks it, and if the file doesn't exist, what to do with it. And then here, clear the screen. Then it goes through each of the files on $sign file, whatever is the name of the $sign file. Then it gets the last, the name of the file only, put it into the file name, and then compare doing if the file is executable. And if it is there, then it runs a stat on it to show statistics. And then if it is executable, it also run it. and all that information. So it is a number of things, and it also if it is not executable, just does a ls minus ld on it. So clearing the screen, and we just run this script like that, /, and then it will just say, okay, the usage, you have to give the argument to the name, and then I'm gonna just say while underscore demo1.bash. And notice that since I give it an argument this time, it says the while demo1.bash is executable because test minus x succeeded, and then here's the stat on the file is giving you all the timestamp, modification time change, and everything, all the files' permissions and who owns it and what's the group and all the details. So that's the stats on the file. And then when it runs the while demo1, it just tells you that it prints that value. So that is that file. There was another one until. Let me just look at that cat -n until underscore demo.bash. And then this one is also long. So it is checking for until. It gives a menu first. The until is an opposite of the while statement. It just at least run the script the menu once, and then when the condition fails, then it's gonna stop. The while statement, while the condition is true, you run it, and then when the condition becomes false, then it is going to terminate it. Initially, the condition is true until the condition is initially false, and it is going to just run that statement. So we're going to run that one, and let's check it together to see what it does. These scripts I wrote a long time ago, and then sometimes I'm still kind of checking on it, but we should do it. Run the top command. So if I just put 1, it's going to run the top command. Then I type in quit and then exit out of this one, then come back to the menu, because until that condition becomes 0 for exit or for monitor Apache web server, for example. So 2, I'm going to say run the htop, and htop is available on the system. It will run that one. Then I go 3, I run the df-h command. So I'm going to say 3, and then it runs the df-h command, and it gives me that. And then 4, monitor the Apache web server. Since I'm not running Apache on this server, it failed for that one because I have not started. But if I want to run Apache, I have to install Apache and test it there. And then now 0, exit out, and then I'm done. So that's how that script works. And how do I know that Apache is not running? Here, if I say HTTP, there's no process. Apache is not process. So systemctl status HTTPD, there's no process, and Apache queue, there's no process. So that means I have to install Apache if I want to do it. But this is a virtual machine that I don't need to for demo purposes, and then I'm going to continue with the rest of the shells. Let's look at the Bourne shell scripts. So the Bourne shell scripts, for example, there's a if statement. If a smaller number, I'm gonna check out the cat -n if else statement. This one is basically doing some comparison between the two values that is given by the user, and then whichever value is smaller, it's gonna print it out. This is smaller, and that one is not. So // and then I say get it for 100 and 100. Should say these are equal, and it does. 100 and 1000, it's say 100 is smaller than 1000. 110, 100 is 10 is smaller, 100 is greater. So it does compare the two values. But if I don't give any value, this will fail, and it says it is not there. So because we did not have any logic for this one to check whether $1 and $2 is provided. So in order to check on that one, what we could do is look at one of the statement here. I could say grep minus I, and then say usage, for example. Let's say if I have on any of this f star.sh, and then right here, one of the fargs.sh, I have a usage. So clearing the screen, ls minus l f dash args.sh, this is script cat minus n f dash args.sh has that syntax to check for this one. And if the number is not two values or not provided, then it called the usage function, and the usage function is right here. It just does that. So I'm going to run this script without the argument here. It should detect saying that you did not provide the value, and it does give me a usage example. But if I just give it like 55 and 5, it does say 55 is greater than 5. And if I just do a larger number, it says 55 is smaller than larger. But if I do 55 and 55, it says it's equal. So the script works perfectly. And if you don't give exactly two numbers, it also knows that you provided one, but one is missing, the second one. So that's why we're comparing the dollars and pound with less than 2. It has to be exactly two numbers in order to match it. Okay, so 2 or more is going to still work, I believe. Let's say 55 and then 55 another one. Yeah. So in this last number in this case is ignored, and that the first two numbers is compare. But if you want to correct that one, so right here, this comparison, you could put another Boolean number saying that if it is not if it is exactly compared to two numbers only. So if it says less than 2 or equal to 2, then you do it. Otherwise, you don't do it. So those ones are going to check for validity of it. So another script that we have is the C shell. So C shell syntax is different. If I just go here, say echo C shell, C shell. Now I could say set env. Let's say x is equal equal 5. Now equal $x is defined to 5, and set env name is equal Wahid. Then echo $name is Wahid, but echo $uppercase name is not defined. So I have to define this one, say set env uppercase name, because case sensitivity matters. And Wahid long, then I could just say echo $name. Now that is defined. And you could put braces around it, it's better, because sometimes you have a variable values that are spaces or between them. It is good to populate it properly. So here I'm going to show you the C shell, and then the C shell syntax, the store.c shell here. If I just run this for each.c shell, since the first top of the line here .c shell had a -1 for each.c shell, since I have this shebang user bin env, this binary user env calls through C shell interpreter. And then the same thing with the first line of the F statement, f.csh. So if I just run the f.csh, it also ran the output based on the content of f.csh. And then if I'm not on the C shell, which I'm on the bash here, PS, and then I want to run this C shell scripts, notice that for each .c shell still works. Why does it work? Because of that first line. Grep minus I env on the .start.c shell. On both of the files, on the first line, I have the shebang env, and then say that run the through C shell. So whether you run C shell or you run through C shell, it runs the C like syntax. And then the file name is cut -n for each .c shell. And you can see that it is having the syntax of C shell. The for each statement has that one, and then the for each all of that one is similar, and then the cat -n f.c shell also has similar syntax with the f statement and def statement rather than fi statement, and then for each has an end statement here. So we do that one, and then one more thing that I want to show you on this one, PS, clearing the screen, PS. So I'm going to see store welcome. Let's see. This script welcome.sh has a little bit work we need to do. So if I run this one, notice it has something called a laugh out loud cat, and then also has the figlets. The figlets might be used. So if I just say welcome $, and it's gonna just try to run it, but it says I don't understand this utility called laugh out loud cat command not found. So when it does tell you that one, then it's compatibility with different utilities that are not here. So in order to get that one, I'm going to just say look at another script also, piece $. Yeah, so cat -n piece $, and then this one is having used laugh out loud as well as figlet, I believe. Somewhere I'm using figlet, yeah. So you can see on this one, I also already demoed it on Red Hat. So I had to, what I do on Red Hat, I'm gonna do the same thing on Rocky, and now you will see how we can get it. In order to do that one, so if I say which figlet, it is not there, and if I say which laugh out loud, a cat command is not there. So I need to install those ones. Figlet is easy, so I could say sudo dnf install figlet. That would install figlet. Okay, I'm going to say yes. Notice that app list figlet, since I installed it, sorry, I'm not on the Ubuntu, I'm on Rocky. So DNF list figlet, I just installed it, and that shows figlet is there. You could also do RPM -QA figlet. You get that list of figlet queries. So it's a little bit slow in this sense that it's going to check for listing of all the packages, but figlet is shown now. I could say RPM -QA and grep -I figlet. You could do that also. And then if you want to just get the list of these ones, I could say RPM -QL and then $sign this, and get this as an argument to the RPM-QL argument, and list the files here. And then if I say grep -I bin, all the figlets binaries that are listed here, it is showing there. So one of them is showfig fonts. Showfig fonts, it shows all the fonts that is available here. But the welcome script now for the welcome, the figlet.sh part is working, but not laughed out loud. So or the piece.sh, the figlet part works, but laugh out loud is not working. So I'm gonna just try to install that one to make out that script will also work. So in order to do that one, I prepare this text file, and then now we're gonna do sudo su, and I'm not gonna put that so I can stay on the current directory that I am, and then cat eval.txt. This one is basically show you that you need to install the eval repository and then run the DNF upgrade and all that information that we're going to do next to just get those packages ready. So first thing, I'm going to do a DNF repo list, and then you can see the eval is already here. So if I just run this command, basically it is already done here, the DNF installed. So let me just do it anyway. So I'm going to say DNF install, and then I'm going to copy this path here. If your system is not done previously, you need to do it. But if I have done it, watch when you do it again, it just says it's already there. This package is already there, nothing to do, right? So then I'm going to say DNF update. DNF update is going to definitely prompt me. But notice if I say no here, cat eval.txt, the option that I have here after the package, I'm going to say DNF upgrade rather than update. So DNF upgrade, and then I'm going to just say yes, go ahead, upgrade. So all of these packages that needs to be upgraded, it will be upgraded at this moment. And because we have the subscription on Red Hat, and also the DNF as allowing me to download all the packages, I'm able to update all these packages. And in this case right now is working on the Firefox. And so usually Firefox is one of the package or VM or some other ones that they usually get updated all the time. So OpenSSL, OpenSSH, all those ones, kernel, and then Samba. There's a number of them that is getting updated right now. So the DNF upgrade will complete, and then the next time you run the DNF update or DNF upgrade, it will tell you that your system is up to date. And right now I'm just waiting for this one to complete. It is working on the last one, 134 packages of 134. On the right side, you can see that number here. So it is almost, I'm going to finish. Kernel core is the last one with the kernel revision is 5.14. So enterprise Linux 9.2, that would be, our system would be up to date with 9.2. It is a little bit time consuming, so I'm gonna pause the video for a second. So I have to wait like 10 seconds more, and then now it's done. So now if I up arrow and run this command, it says your system is up to date. All the dependencies are resolved. So cat eval.txt. This other commands for the subscription manager, repos-enable. This one, we may have to do it. Sometimes it might tell you that some of the packages are already there. You just have to run a different command with list. And then let's see if it does recognize it, or I need to do it. Depend on the version that you're working on, each one of them, or whether it's 9 or 10. Okay, so all the information here, it says that it is waiting to queue and everything. So our DNF repo list, it is giving me that it is there. Now I'm going to say eval.txt. The next thing I need to do is the YAM update or DNF update. YAM, which YAM, Yellow Dog Update Manager, is symbolic link to DNF-3. So when you run YAM, it is actually running DNF-3. or DNF. DNF is also symbolic link to DNF is also symbolic link to DNF-3, and DNF-3 is actually a Python executable line. And if you look at this one, it's about 62 lines of Python scripts. And then it has the sys modules, the path modules, and all that other one, the path property node module and the sys module. So let's look at what I was showing. Oh, cat epal.text. So we have done a lot of those information. I need to now install snapd. Snapd is a package that is coming on the Linux Ubuntu. Linux is a containerization for installing packages for containers like Firefox and other ones. On the Red Hat and Rocky, we have Yum, RPM, and DNF. And so we're going to install snapd also. DNF install or Yum install snapd will install the snapd repository. Then I say go ahead and install snapd here. And then snapd is a little bit time consuming. It's one of 3 right now. And then we are installing snapd, which is a container for it. So it wasn't that fast, that slow. Now, if I say snap list, it's not going to run the command. It's going to take a long time because I haven't completed the installation for it. Okay, system CTL status snapd. It will tell you that the snapd is disabled and it is dead. Right now, it's not running. So what I could do is say cat epal.text, and now I need to just enable it. In order to enable it, I could do a system CTL enable -- now snapd.socket socket, and that enabled it. At the same time, I could say go ahead and start it. But before I start it, actually, I need to create a symbolic link. I could say link -s var lep snapd snap to /snap. And now if I say /snap, it is symbolic link to var lep snapd, which doesn't exist at this time. That's why it's showing red. So I'm gonna say system CTL enable snapd. We already did the other one, so snap now. Enable -- now. So I'm gonna do system CTL start, and then this will start the snapd. Now I check on the status of snapd with the status. Then it's gonna say that it is enabled, and then at this time exit code is there, and I'm gonna run a clear screen command, the snap list command here. And then right here it says you haven't installed any packages yet. You want to do the hello world. I'm not gonna do a hello world because it's a little bit time consuming. I'm gonna do a snap install laugh out loud cat. I'm gonna try that snap package. Hello world is also, you can do snap install hello world, but I don't need to just do that one. I will just do the hello world, laugh out cat, and once that one is done, we will just have to provide the information to it. Set up a snapd security profile. It is still progressing. I'm gonna just also come up with the Linux Ubuntu here. I'm gonna start this one to find out on the, actually I don't need to, let me just close this one. I could, I don't need to power it on, that's fine. Okay, so on the Linux Rocky, I had two screens here. One was on Ubuntu already. So I'm already on Ubuntu here. If I say snap list, notice here I get all the information here. Snap list, laugh out loud cat, it's showing that package is there. So if I run the command laugh out loud cat command here, it will change the color. Every time you do the same command, it will give you a different set of commands list. So if I just do this and say ls, and then I want to say laugh out loud cat, and you could see every time you run the command, you get a different set of colors. So that's what the laugh out loud command utility does. But if I just go here, say which laugh out loud cat command here, and then you see that it's a snap/bin laugh out cat. So echo $$ path, it has the path to snap the whatever that path is, snap/bin. Snap/bin, snap/bin, it has all the snap information here, and most likely laugh out loud cat command is one of them. Yeah. So the snap/bin, and then depending on where user bin snap is there or whatever the snap is there, you can see here. So if I just say which laugh out loud cat, it doesn't give me the path. But if I just say which snap, oh, I'm sorry, which laugh out loud cat, it just says it is under snap/bin and then laugh out loud cat. So what I need to do is snap bin. I could just say go to snap. Go to snap. I forgot what I did. Okay, cat eval.text. I need to get this path /snap. Maybe the /snap did not get created. Yeah, that's why it did not create it. Vorlib snap d snap. So the vorlib snap d. Yeah, it is there. Snap is there. So in order to create that symbolic link to that, I have to do a link -s into /snap. And then a file exists. Let's see snap, what is under snap. Okay, rm/snap. That symbolic link, I'm going to create it. Now /snap is created. This time notice that it is created correctly. Maybe whatever I did last time, it was not seeing this one. That's why it was in red. So now the /snap is there. Inside the snap directory, when you go /snap, if you do ls -l snap, then you could see a list of the files that are vorlib snap d, and then all of that one are there, and then under the snap, then laugh out loud cat is there. And then if I just put it under the bin directory might have the path also for it, but it is not. Yeah, it is actually user bin snap is the one that is pointing to that. Or you could just type in snap. So user bin snap works the same way as the laugh out cat. And then on that path here, if I just say laugh out loud cat, that would snap, and then user lib snap, and then after snap is a laugh out loud cat. Yeah, that one is giving you one and current. And then if I just go here, then laugh out loud cat, that would give you that. And so the way it works is that if I say pwd or say echo, this is our test, this would do that one. But then if I just say pipe it to this path, whether I put this path or user ben snap, user ben snap, it would actually, this one just shows you the snap command. And then the other one was what was the path again? I missed the path here. Okay, this one. Let me just cd to the var snap, cd to var snap. Is it var snap? The path is really var left snap d, and then snap, and file below lab out loud cat. So if I just say ls, ls, and then pipe dot slash lab out loud cat is a directory. cd to lab out loud cat. Okay, and then cd to 1 and cd to ben. There's a number of other ones, but this is find out minus name, laugh out loud cat. I'm just checking. Yeah, this is in that directory. And then, so it is in this path. And if I say ls minus l, and then dot slash laugh out loud cat, it changes the color or not? Is a directory. No, file laugh out loud cat. File laugh out loud cat. Ruby script this. So ls and pipe dot slash laugh out loud cat. But interpreter Ruby. Oh God. So let me just see what's going on here on the this laugh out loud cat utility. It is snap list. It is showing that laugh out cat loud is installed, but it is a busy loop, and it is. I'm gonna try to see if snap ben laugh out loud cat. That is on this host, and then snap ben laugh out cat. In order to actually know what is going on with the version of the Rocky, I'm gonna say the OS release on this one is Ubuntu, and then I'm gonna say which laugh out loud cat command first. It is a snap ben laugh out loud. So if I say file snap ben laugh out loud cat command, it is symbolic link to user ben. File user ben snap, that is actually the executable for snap. So that means I may have to reinstall that snap and refresh it with this configuration with to script here. So on the local host, I'm gonna say snap install laugh out loud cat, and then I'm gonna try to do a reinstall here, a refresh maybe. So let's say refresh has no update available. So I'm gonna say DNF update or reinstall snapd. Somehow the snapd might be not correctly done. That's why the laugh out loud cat. So snapd install remove remove laugh out loud cat first, snap, remove laugh out loud cat, and not snap the snap. So I'm gonna just now remove it, now install it again. It says install snap list, and it is listed here. So now the directory of the path might not be where I want to have it in the path. So here on this one, on the other one that works here, echo user bin snap. So let's see the path here. It says user local bin and user local game snap slash bin. Snap slash bin here slash snap slash bin. Okay, so there's nothing under slash bin here. It is actually there. So snap slash bin, I need to be on my environment variable. So since I'm using bash, I'm going to say export path is equal $ path, and also append to the end of it the path to snap slash bin. Now echo and $ path, it is having that. So if I say which laugh out loud path, it is now finding it, user bin, local bin. So that's how you fix it. And then now if I say ls -l, it is giving me that. And then if I say laugh out loud cat, because it's on the path, it will automatically run. And the same thing with this command again, every time you run it, you get a different set of values here. So now if I just open another terminal here, the coloring things, I think I have to change the background a little bit to different setting. In order to do that one, let's just say okay, I'm going to just run another session here. I'm gonna open a terminal here, and then I'm gonna say export. Actually, not export. I'm gonna say extern minus bg. I'm gonna say in dark. Let's make it dark, dark red. So I'm gonna say maybe 15 for dark red, and then 00, and then 00, and then minus foreground white. I could put a pound FFF. The 3 is the replacement for 6 of them, that's fine. Minus font size is 10, minus face. I'm gonna do New York, and then I'm gonna do an ampersand. So now I have this darkish red background. I could just say, okay, I run this command here. It will give me a nice interface, but at the same time, if I say laugh out loud cat, and then it's going to change that color there. Every time you run it, you get a different set of arguments. You can see that it is working here. So if I just want it completely dark here, and this one, I could just change it to, let's say, even like 505 for the red. So it's darker. And then now I run this command doing ls -l. You could see the output is showing it, but if I say laugh out loud cat, it will just do this. So now if I just go to the demo directory, the script that was called piece.sh, if I run that one, piece.sh, let me just make the size of the screen a little bit wider and bigger. That way you could see the information all displayed correctly. So I'm gonna say piece.sh, and you can see that it is saying that welcome to MyWebUniversity, and then it is going to show you the YouTube channel, and then also presented by Wahid Al-Lutfi, that information, and then it says peace to all. So, and now the banner command may not work, but show fake fonts works. Sorry, show fake fonts, and it works, as well as if I just say echo testing, and then I say laugh out loud cat, it will just say that. And if I say for I and sequence of 10, say do echo welcome to my web university, and then we could just say those times, and then dollar, we could put a $sign I, and then colon separated with welcome to my web university that many times, and then say laugh out loud cat, and then done. Now notice that the sequence, I just needed to do a backtick around it, so it could understand that information, and it does this. And you can see here, we just print out that 10 times the number. Then coloring everything works as we expected. So you could just say, if you want to just do it more than numbers of that one 50 times, it will just print out that one for you 50 times. Welcome. So the scripting is very easy, and how you want it colored and everything, depending on what utility you have, the show fake fonts and everything. And the other ones, if you're looking for the extern or fake fonts stuff, and then the other ones, there's a lot of videos I have already made. Please watch them and enjoy them. And I don't want to get this video for forever, so I'm going to stop it here. And we demo the scripting in 3 videos, and number 10, 11, and 12. Today we covered the Red Hat Rocky Linux version, and we made the kind of packages that need to be installed, updated the DNF repository, and also installed snapd, which is a containerization, as well as, to recap it, we installed the laugh out loud utility, and we used the script piece.sh. So notice that the piece.sh, one thing that I want to demo here with the piece.sh, clearing the screen here. So if I say piece.sh, every time you run piece.sh, depending on the graphical interface, you get different set of colors. Same thing with running any command that you want to do. So I'm going to just run this, and then if I just say ls, you can see here, and then now if I say ls laugh out loud cap, you do that one. Clear the screen. Calendar is giving you that. Now you pipe it to laugh out loud cap command, you will get a different calendar. Every time you run, you get nice background, depending on the coloring scheme that is available to you. There's a lot of option with the laugh out loud cat also, --help. So you will get all these options for the command listing, what you want to do with them, frequencies, the speed, and the animation, and all that things. You're welcome to explore that one and practice it and enjoy it. Please make sure that you register or subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscription is always free on YouTube, and you're welcome to enjoy, make some comments, so we can improve it based on your needs. Take care, have fun, bye.